Good afternoon, hello to all of you, wherever you are around the world. Just like to welcome you to Back to Primal TV. Today I'm going to just do an update really on a blog which I made coming up to a year ago now, and it's getting a lot of views at the moment and a lot of feedback, and it's on the topic of oil pulling, which is a bit of a, should we say, fad at the moment. Obviously I'm coming more from the perspective of techniques that improve your health. So what I'm going to bring you today is my noticed benefits and changes from approximately a year of oil pulling. It's probably actually a little bit under a year, but let's say a year of oil pulling. So I started last year and I was suffering definitely with some occasional bleeding gums. I had some inflammation on the gums. My teeth were quite white, but I would say not brilliantly white. And I was put on to oil pulling by my holistic dentist. I started off with a bit of scepticism, as I'm sure many people do when they try some old ancient techniques and other techniques which they're put onto. And as predominantly a musculoskeletal therapist, osteopath by trade, and corrective exercise therapist, I come at these different approaches with a very open mind, and I try to be honest with myself and honest with my clients with what I find. So first off, I'll start by noticing the main things, explain the main things I've noticed over the last year. First one, definitely my teeth are whiter. I still get a little bit of browning here in my canines, but I will say I'm quite a high tea drinker, not massively high, but I don't drink alcohol. I try to limit processed foods to an absolute minimum, and I think some of the browning may well be the tea that I drink, because I do like a good black tea. But definitely noticed a whitening of the teeth. My bleeding gums have completely stopped. This was noticed by both my dentist and my hygienist, both of who commented on the health of my gums, and that anything they noted before has now gone. So I would say that where I probably had some periodontal disease, that's pretty much gone now. I haven't really noticed any bleeding apart from if I go a little bit, should we say, over the top with flossing. So it has definitely cleared up that. A third thing which I've noticed is sinus-wise. I used to suffer with a lot of blockage in the right sinus and right nasal passage. I definitely suffer with a lot of rhinitis type problems. I used to suffer with a lot of hay fever. However, that cleared up many years ago from changing to organic food, so I won't put that down to the oil pulling. However, I will say that there's a definite clearing of my nasal passages. I breathe a lot easier through my nose. In the UK, through the winters, we often get a lot of colds going around. We tend to be cooped up indoors due to the nature of the weather. And obviously with all my clients bringing in all their illnesses, I tend to be exposed to a lot of these problems. What I have noticed is, well, the last problem I had one this week, which actually only lasted about 24 hours, which was a bit of a runny nose. And the last one before that was in October. We're now in just coming up to, well, end of April 2014, so it was October 2013. So I went pretty much the whole winter without getting any kind of flu or cold, which was brilliant, especially as all my clients like to bring their stuff in, as I say. And even in that scenario in the October, which was quite a nasty one that was going around, it actually only lasted about 24 hours to 48 hours, and then basically I started healing. Any sore throat was gone within a day, and I will put that down personally, not scientifically, personally I'll put that down to the oil pulling, because I know how I used to respond and it wasn't that quickly. So it might have been probably 3 or 4 days of a bit of a sore throat and a blockage, and then that feeling of healing. So I will personally put that down to the oil pulling, which is why I'm still doing it to date. I'm just trying to think of other things that may be attributed to the oil pulling. No, what I will say, and this isn't a downside, it's just something which I found worked for me, is I was doing every single day oil pulling, and I found after about 4 to 5 months that actually it kind of felt a bit unnecessary. Doing every single day, I almost felt like I lost a bit of the benefit of it. So what I've personally done now is I've gone to oil pulling every sort of, should we say, every 3 days, and then I take a day break, and then I do it again. And again, it may just be in my head, but it may also be a finding. Without scientific studies, it'd be difficult to know. But I feel like it gives me an extra pull, an extra push if I have that day break and then come back to it. Whereas if I just keep going, it's almost like anything that you do for a boost of health. If you do it all the time, it can lose its effect. So just bear that in mind when you're thinking about your own approaches. Other than that, I would say I haven't really noticed any negatives to it. Yeah, it's very simple to do. I've added it to my oral hygiene routine. And that's something I would say as well. Remember, this is part of your oral hygiene. I often get asked, should I stop cleaning my teeth? Is it necessary to clean my teeth? There may be people that argue certain points. I personally keep my oral hygiene routine, cleaning my teeth, trying to move personally more towards fluoride-free toothpaste, but I still do occasionally use a good synthetic and sort of mix it all around. But there's no one set route. Find what works for you. Hopefully you have beneficial effects from oil pulling. Remember, these things can sometimes have what we might call, should we say, over-the-top claims. I can't guarantee whether it has a lot of the effects that it can claim to have against disease and illness. All I can do is comment on what I've noticed. It's something I'm going to continue doing. I can't talk negatively of it at this point, so therefore I won't. And hopefully you're having good effects as well. If you came and found this page via that first blog, then thanks for joining and subscribing. I look forward to bringing you other information, and take care of yourselves, look after yourselves. Backtoprimal.com, www.facebook.com/backtoprimal. You can now find me on Twitter as well, at Alistair McGee, at backtoprimal, and I think it's twitter.com/backtoprimal. I'm new to that one, so I'll get the hang of it. Look after yourselves, take care, be primal.